Fighter planes, everyone knows what they are, but not many have insight on the men and women flying them. In this video, the lives and experiences of the pilots will be explored. Sit back, relax and please enjoy.
I would definitely recommend it as a profession if you see that as a passion. What made me become a pilot, a military pilot, was one of my uncles was a Second World War veteran that flew for 3 years in the Royal Air Force, and his stories, together with my attraction to military aviation, made me try to become a pilot and eventually become a pilot. I think the toughest part is that for the first 5 to 6 years you are having tests and you need to perform every time, every flight, and that together with the military discipline, together with the academic part, because I did it through the Royal Military Academy, makes it sometimes psychologically hard to sustain. And I think 3 or 4 times I thought about quitting, but every time with help of, well, initially my parents, I continued. And so it's that constant pressure that you have, also from a medical point of view, because if during your training you have, well, before you get your wings, you have eye issues or another health issue, then it's also finished. So all that together makes it a long path where you need really to stay calm and to look always towards that one thing that you want, is to become a pilot. Probably everything. In a way, it's a job like another one, because every day you wake up and you go to work, you meet with colleagues, you do your job, and then you come home. But that's where it stops, because all the rest, the camaraderie you have within your squadron, the planes that you can fly, the job that you perform with those aircraft, the things you learn, the things you reach, the exercise you participate to, the flights you make, the operations you participate to, all of that makes it totally different from another regular job. And you need to have a strong, first of all, a strong family behind you, because otherwise it will be difficult to cope with the life of a fighter pilot, because you're away a lot. If you have kids during your time in your squadron, well, there are many times you will miss certain steps from your kids. And yeah, your plane is your office. So once you're in your office, you feel good. So probably what makes it also different from many others is that you rather see that as a passion than as a job. It's not always easy, not always bright and shiny. There are very difficult moments, but still it's a passion. So that's how you make it. It's easier to live with once you see it as a passion.
The F-16 is the world's most commonly used fourth-generation fighter jet, with over 4,400 produced. What makes this plane so successful is its ideal blend between speed, maneuverability and firepower. It can fly at speeds of up to 2,414 kilometers per hour. This makes it ideal for intercepting enemy planes rapidly. If you look at the screen, you can see the sonic boom that the plane creates as it breaks the speed of sound. The plane is also equipped with defensive measures such as flares, which are designed to distract missiles and cause them to miss the plane. The plane's great maneuverability also allows the pilot to make extreme evasive actions to avoid being hit. Last but not least, the F-16 is armed with a main M61 20mm rotary cannon. With a fire rate of 6,000 rounds per minute, it will tear through ordinary steel like it's wet tissue paper. It can also be armed with a variety of missiles and bombs which allow the plane to be flexible in its ability to combat different foes effectively. All of these things combined allow the F-16 to still be a relevant and dangerous adversary in modern skies. An impressive achievement for a 40-year-old plane.
What inspires me? Well, it's a difficult question. It's something I didn't grow up with. I always wanted to be a pilot. My grandfather used to be in the aviation as well, in the aviation world, but specifically in the F-16 pilot, no, that's something that came up later on. So I started my training, and during the training, well, I discovered different jobs inside the aviation world, and the one of the fighter track, that's the one that that I liked most. So that's how I got into the F-16 world. especially that you don't have a lot of holidays during this period. So when you have your friends going to university, well, they have 2 months of holiday during summer period, or like you used to have previously. They had quite short days. Don't say it was easy on their side, but your days, my days were really long. It was even well, the weekends are the moments you could kind of get some rest. But except of that, during summer periods, even Christmas, I remember my pilot training, I received 2 weeks of holiday during the 2 years of the training. So that's all I had as a holiday, and it was really hard to keep on continuing without having any moment to stop and to relax. You travel a lot, that you can do in civilian as well. You meet a lot of people that you can do in civilian as well, but it's always in the same environment. And I met some Americans, Canadians, can be Norwegian guys that I met on exercise for 2 weeks. And I saw them a couple of years later, and it was like if it was yesterday. So you make long-term friendships. You visit a lot of countries, but most of the time you see them out of the sky and out of a fighter cockpit. It's a quite nice view because it's a big glass window, so you don't have anything that kind of blocks your vision. Of course, you go into some areas not too crowded, so it can be desert-like forest. You can go and fly through glaciers in Norway. So one thing that might be different is you have a moral tasking. So that means that if you work in a civilian, if you have a civilian job, you work for a boss. His main purpose is to make money, and you are going to help him to make that money. If you work as a fighter pilot, your aim is to be ready and to execute the mission. The mission in itself can be whatever it is, imposed by your government. You might like it or you don't. It's not the point. But you do it for something else than the money. You hope to do something good in the end, or in the end run. Even if as a fighter pilot, it's not like in transport world when you drop survival packs, you drop food, you go and help and do some disaster relief. We are more into the fighting business, but we hope that in the end, even if we do harm people, and if we and hopefully we harm the correct people, and we destroy some things, we hope that in the end run it will help building up correctly and helping the society.
Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. I like smoking lightning, heavy metal thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that I'm under. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We for the ride.